Inside Out.
Alright, mu Inside Out olwaleero njagala kwaniriza nina omu ku bayivu ennyo mu ggwanga lyaffe ate ow'ekitiibwa. E Busoga tumuyita ow'ekitiibwa Professor Juma Wasswa Balunywa. Juma Wasswa Balunywa tumuyita ow'ekitiibwa kubanga yali Katukiiru wa Busoga emyezi 7. Juma Wasswa Balunywa abadde principal ku ttendekero lya Makerere University Business School emyaka mingi ddala. Buli lwogera ku linnya Balunywa oba otegeeza moves, buli lwogera ku moves oba otegeeza Balunywa. Naye ekisinga otukayanya nnyo ku Professor Balunywa. Professor, kino kankikubuuze ggwe kennyini, oli wa ggwanga ki? Abaganda bagamba ggwe Wasswa Balunywa, Abasoga nti oyo waife waiganga wale simanyi ekasolo ni Balunywa, naye bw'oba wandika Wasswa Balunywa, oli wa ggwanga ki?
Nze ndi Musoga era nva Ebunole.
Bunole
Bw'oba ngoyidde obwakabaka bwa Busoga, kati kankikozesa ekigambo bwakabaka kubanga kino kigambo kindimu. Busoga erina bakabaka 11.
Yes.
Nanumba ne waife.
Bunole Bunanumba.
Nanumba ne waife.
But that's not Iganga.
Eyo Iganga. Iganga idye Mpegana. Because that was the bigger Busoga district. Balunywa yafuga. Era bw'ogyeye Ebunanumba eyo eri ekyalo kibeeta Njia ekyaife. The whole village is ours.
Called Njia.
Called Njia. Aye, our great grandmother left that side in the 1910s with his 3 children. Bab, 2 of them Balongo, that was Chinyiri, Nizira Muzale.
Those are popular names, Chinyiri.
And Nizira Muzale. And a girl, bamwetanga Alizanga, yali mulungi nnyo nga aliza abasaadha.
So bamutuma ati aliza. Professor aliza. Aliza. Oh, so the Juma Chinyiri.
No, a moment. So when they come, they were flying. They were fleeing this Sesefly Mongota.
Mongota, yes.
Yali yeyo, so yavayo omukyalo yavayo n'abaana basatu. Yaja asetulinga Kamuli enamisambya.
Okay.
So she needed that the way. Actually, Balunywa, our father, Yamuzali.
Kati abalabi bange olina kubatera mu Luganda, Professor. Bw'onaakola olusoga lwokka.
Kwogera olusoga osooka bategere olusoga.
Kale.
Nyenterezeemu. Balunywa, because I'll tell you why we speak Luganda.
So the name is Balunywa.
Balunywa.
But we write Balunywa.
Yes, because of Uganda imperialism. I want to tell you that the British brought imperialism in Busoga. You, as a Christian, was reading the Luganda Bible, weren't you?
For so many years.
That was in Luganda.
Yes, up to today.
So how could you write names in anything other than Luganda? Your father, my father, who used to write in Luganda because they were studying Luganda in Busoga schools. That is the only
That is true.
Yes.
That is true.
That is where it comes from. So, my grandfather, Baba wange Balunywa bamuzalira Kamuli Namusambya. Yasomera Bishop Mukono. At that time, the best institution.
Was.
He was very good. Yasoma busomesa, and he went to become a teacher. So, the reason why the names are Juma Wasswa Balunywa is the Balunywa name was turned from Balunywa to Balunywa because we were writing and studying in Uganda. Even me up to P3, I was studying Uganda.
True.
In the 60s.
True.
So that is how this name comes up. Now, what Erina Ninze Waiswa? I remember feeling a form that olive. Nataku Waiswa. There Iranga Kuliku was the I is not there. That's why you see it is a single S. So I thought, this person who was punching thought, This man, I must have made
A mistake. Yakoze ensobi musajja Muganda naye yawandise Waiswa.
So the name has a single S. But at that time, what was there?
Yeah. Because even the duo of correcting it would be a very hectic one.
So that is how the names come up to be Juma Wasswa Balunywa.
But still there is a problem.
The wange Chiniri is Juma
Chiniri.
Wasswa.
Juma.
Chiniri is a nickname.
He
was looking so nice in Aniriraino.
Professor. So how about
see his pictures? I'll show you the pictures. But he became a very big man, and he converted. He was Christian, converted to Islam.
Okay.
And he became the sheikh of the Eastern region.
A very prominent one. Very prominent one. You know, but your family badde tufuganye Busoga mu byeddiini y'ekisiraamu from Uganda Supreme Muslim Council. You sound ne mutufuga.
My father is the founder of Supreme Council.
True that.
Yes. He was the only person speaking English at that time when it was being formed within the Muslim community. Yes. I'll show you some pictures.
Okay, let's get something. You know, abantu abagamba ntoli mu Busoga balina still arguments. How can you be Wasswa Balunywa and you are a friend of a man whose names are only Swahili, Ngoma Ngime, that you are brothers? Is it true?
My young brother. He just twisted his names. He's called Ngoma. You've heard of many Ngomas, haven't you?
Yes.
There's Professor Ngoma now, who is the Vice Chancellor of KIU.
Yes.
Yeah.
A Busoga?
Yeah, my brother, my young brother.
So Ngoma
Ngima was just to fancy the name, you know.
So you were Busoga?
Original and 311, as they say.
From Bunole?
From Bunole, Bunanumba. By the way, people mistake when you say Bunole. Some people think Bunole is
Oya Butaleja. There is Bunyolo of Butaleja. There is Bunole Bunanumba of Busoga. Very good. Sanyusa okulaba. Abantu ba ekyo kati tukitegedde. So oli Busoga.
Ndi Busoga kakati.
Proudly so.
Kakati Kyabazinga Balunywa, my father, was one of the best teachers Busoga had at that time. So because he was Muslim, he was taken to lead the growth of Bukoyo primary and secondary school.
Yes.
Which were the only schools for the Muslim community.
At that time. True that.
The 1930s, 40s. So he settles in Uganda, where we are born. Yeah, so his family grows up in Uganda. Now, he became a friend of Kyabazinga Mulochi. They met during school. Era in the bantu
Nakibande okuleko naye yekonia Nakibande yeah Nakibande yes
yamufunira mu nyumba ya baba wange. You'll be there tomorrow, so you'll see what I'm talking about. So they became friends. Mulochi n'atwala Balunywa mu kusomesa, takes him to Bugembe in administration. Because he was so good, he rose to become the chief administrator of Busoga.
Yes. So you were that close to the Kyabazinga.
Yeah. That's why Mulochi, the late Mulochi, came to me and said, "Come and help me. Babbe bintu bya Kyabazinga yangunyambeko nampo obwa Katukiiru." And it has been the biggest ceremony you've seen.
Oh yes.
Since.
Yes. One of the happiest moments I have seen the Busoga celebrate. Kyekyaggobya ku bwa Katukiiru kuba tewalwako Muganda nga tewabugumya na mbooge.
Katukiiru nabimereko emyezi 7, but memorable. I think people at that time still remember what it is. I mobilized the Busoga. Everybody. Yes, I did.
So ekyaggobya ki?
Ekyangobya A bit very personal, but His Excellency the President gave me an assignment to look after the Chabazinga, having known how close we were, and he even gave me money. So some people wanted this money, and I refused to give it to them.
Because it had been given to you to look after a different.
And you know, when I left, I accounted for the money, and the balance, $4,000, I put it back.
Baakugoba okyalina ne ssente ez'omulimu $4,000
nenziddiza Kyabazinga.
Kati ate wandisobodde kubanga gwatamanyi kulya mu nsangi zino nozaayo $1 oli bwagoba nga olimu ennyo dduka nazo.
Because at that time I requested His Excellency the President to come and see Kyabazinga because he was on his deathbed. He had cancer, with due respect. So I left. I went to the Kyabazinga's home on a Sunday, and I left. President Ken met with the Kyabazinga. He was sick. Actually, the President yazze ogenda omulaba. That was a Sunday. On a Tuesday, the President came back. On a Wednesday, they announced that I'm no longer the Katukiiru on the radio. But what I learned was that there was somebody within the family. It was not about the president. Within the family, who convinced the Balangira and gave them 200,000 shillings each, the 10 of them, to sign on the document that I should be relieved of my duties as Katukiiru.
Why?
I think I was rigid. Yeah, I was rigid.
You have said it. I like honesty. You were rigid.
Yeah, I was rigid because I wanted good things for the Chabazinga ship. And I had improved the place. I had painted it. I had planted
true.
It. Even now, when you go there, you're going to see the trees I planted.
True.
Yes.
True, you had changed things, but you weren't compromising.
No, not on standards. The reason why you see MOOBS has never had a scandal of exams or whatever it is because of that.
Do you regret the time you served in Busoga?
No, I don't.
Okay, do you regret your rigidity that cost you the job?
I don't.
Huh?
I don't. Because the late Chabazinga Muroshi requested me that come and help me. They are stealing the land. Babbe ettaka ly'obwa Chabazinga nantwala nantambuza nandaga awo batunzeewo wano batunzeewo nyamba mwana wange
tununule ebintu bino.
Nangamba nti taatawo was my very good friend. That's why I'm calling upon you to come and help me because mbuziza mu bantu bonna. Your name keeps on coming up. Your name keeps on coming up. Your name keeps on coming up. So that is how we end up the way we ended up. He appoints me, and I worked. I worked, and I never zaba banyamba. I had many people, the Somali community, who are business people in Busoga. The politicians, imagine I brought Salam Musumba, I brought
Dr. Nabuiso. You brought me.
I brought you, yes.
You brought me.
You even almost converted to NRM.
Yes, and I told you I would cross if it requires us to cross and do work.
Yeah. So it's at that time I realized what Busoga needed. But unfortunately, I never came to realize.
Kiyinza okuba nga Mulooki teyamanyanga akugoba kubanga liwa bagamba nti teyamanyanga bakugoba balabe bakugoba.
He didn't know.
You didn't?
He didn't know because I met Mulooki on Sunday and he was unconscious kind of when the president was coming to see him.
That okay.
Yeah.
So this could have been an action of somebody.
So they say they pushed him. The president came back. How he came back, I don't know, but he came back on Tuesday. And there was a document signed which was saying they have relieved me of my duty as Katukiiru. And the president said, it is not my role. He said, that's not my role. Me, Chabazinga is my friend. I have been looking after him with Balunywa, and that's it.
How did you think of returning the
It
money?
was not mine. The president gave me dollars to look after the Chabazinga. And I accounted for each and every dollar he gave me.
And you realized you had a balance of
Yes,
$4,000.
yes. Because I was still looking after him.
And you returned it.
And I returned the money, yes. I handed it over.
Oli musanyufu ne Busoga olwaleero?
Nedda. Busoga has many issues. Yes, many issues. I think if we talk about them, we can take a whole day. But
naye tujja kwogerako ku ntono kubanga tulina ekiswaza mu ggwanga kino kiikino njagala abantu bayinza okukyo kikugamba. Busoga ng'erina omuntu asinga okumanya ebyenfuna n'obisomesa Wasswa Balunywa. Busoga ng'erina ateekerateekera eggwanga Joseph Muvawala. Buli rating eva mu Busoga eraga nti Busoga kyekifo ekisinga okuba ekyavu, ekitalina mmere ekimala, eky'abantu abateeyagala. So mwe muba mugasa ki Busoga? What is the purpose of having a Balunywa in a poor Busoga?
yeah, but we have done for the country. I mean, Moops is not a small place.
We're now on Busoga.
Yes, but I mean, being at the national level, really, Moops is not something you create overnight.
But the challenge is, you have taught executives, you have taught transformative leaders who have changed other areas, including corporations, but you have not helped your own area. The area remains miserable.
The problem with the Busoga region, one, is failure to retain the industries that were there. That's one. Two, failure to exploit sugarcane as an economic activity. Because there are now 4 or 5 factories.
More.
Yeah.
Mayuge sugar, Kamuli sugar, Kaliro sugar, Bujiri sugar, Chakira sugar. Waliwo nene ya GM almost naye yagala kubalirwa.
And I sit on the board of Kachira. You are aware of that?
No.
Yes, I am. So these appear small issues, but the economic activity in Busoga is dead. It is a structural problem. Busoga relied on cotton, coffee, maize, groundnuts. Okay? At that time, the population in Busoga was about less than 1 million people.
Yes.
Today, Busoga has 4.2 million people on an economy that has reduced in size. I'll explain the sugar.
Yes.
So you had 1 million shillings.
Singa obimeneremu n'abasoga bene baabiwulira kuba mu luzungu bayida kwegemya ati at least mu Luganda oba mu Lusoga at least tubikutule.
Busoga yali economy ya Busoga, if you remember that the Busoga Railway was based on cotton. Namasagari was based on cotton because the Lake Choga region was cotton growing. So Busoga yali erima pamba mungi. I grew up seeing cotton everywhere in Busoga. I grew up seeing coffee everywhere in Busoga. I grew up seeing groundnuts everywhere in Busoga. I grew up seeing maize everywhere in Busoga. So that huge, let me just bring this as an example. If we were producing 1,000 tons of cotton, kanjite mu Busoga bulungi. Ebiseera ebyo 1960s, 70s, abasoga baalinga 1 million. Nga bafulumya pamba kangeze bugeze million ndala 1 million 1 million pound no kilos, which means into buli musoga yafuna
akasiringi akagema kusuku
ku cotton. Now the population is 4.23 million. The amount of cotton is gone away. So from that point of view, that income is no longer there.
Yes.
So abantu abo baavu bangi kuba bazira income eyo. It's true of coffee. I grew up mu compound yewaife Eiganga. There was a coffee plantation. It's no longer there. coffee has been seen until recently as a product you live in the bush, wajja wano gemwanyi watunda embisi wafuna school fees. So omusoga yali alima emwanyi takasobola tadirima, yalima emwanyi asasula fees d'abaana tadirima. There was a pattern in Busoga. Mu December yabatundiranga pamba nga bagula egaali, bagula amabaati, bagula ne uniform, bagula n'engoye za Christmas. They had money. The population was smaller. They had economic activities. Now, from the Magendo period, the Busoga abandoned the production of these products.
Babivaako. Ne bayingira amagendo.
It is easier to have a shop in Iganga town than go and grow cotton.
Biba n'akaduuka kaawo walenga obufuta n'obwito. Okay.
So people are abantu balima ebintu byokulya, self consumption. That doesn't give you wealth. Wealth comes from you producing more than what you need, and selling the excess, getting money out of it, and going to buy other things that you want. But baziraki bali kulima kamere konka mpegana, because coffee
yajja,
cotton
yajja,
amaido
gajja, tulya gasoroti.
Ate nkuba abantu amuti amaido amasuga nga gawooma
leero gazirayo inayo ganadis
okoboti galiyo kana okoboti amasuga gavaayo
galiyo
galiyo
kuba nze nakula nga amaido amamyufu getulya iva
tugeta
amaganda kabonge
n'obwido obutono
kabongo omweru nga nanwerwa ku chai tasekulwa takola iva anwira bwa kuki today video tibite
sekula iva tafuka tamyuka
tazitowa.
That's true. So poverty in Busoga right now is as a result of an increase in population without a corresponding increase in production.
Would you blame Museveni for Busoga's woes? Kuba abasinga kati Museveni naise Busoga.
No, I can't blame Museveni.
Tuleni ani kizibu kyani?
Me. Nobody owes you a living. Buvunaanyizibwawo ye ng'omuntu okubona nti oli kulya oli kwenda gavumenti ekuwe ssente Museveni ajja okuwa ssente.
Buvunaanyizibwa bwange okwebezaawo.
Yes.
Me government enambala.
It's not a government responsibility. Bwe tunaayo nga tukali kutegeera kintu ekyo tujja kufa bwavu. It is your responsibility as a person okwerabirira. Waawuna olina gavumenti edde kwamba zeetaayi eyo. Ekugulire n'etaayi.
Ayeeteewo kyenkola ogula etaayi.
Ate n'ekitaawo yakukuba nti gavumenti yakukuba nti policy yaife eri liberal economy. Use the forces of demand and supply to do whatever you want. There is absolutely no control over the economic system in this country. Absolutely. Wake up and go and do what you want to do. And if you do it well, put in work, be disciplined, you get money.
You wouldn't fault Museveni anyway for Busoga's poverty. Tina atwavuwaiza.
No. Muli kwegemya. Nabalo berokola. Nabakola muzaale ino.
Okay, duzi yatuleetera ebikaado. Ebikaado tibi bakati ekiteeso obwavu Busoga.
Museveni taleetanga ku bikaado Busoga. I want you to remember, if you remember, a meeting we had at Bugembe, Kuwachabazinga, when people from Mayuge Sugar came into that meeting, and they said, they were telling us that they wanted to start that factory. Emayuge. And there were objections from different people. The Madivanis, where I am privileged to serve on the board, have been requesting for zoning. Madivani alikuwa.
Ekyo kyona tukitegera kituyinone kuba zoning yone yasinga kutuyita. Zoning mutabani wani. Kuba yaleeta ino obuzibu.
No, it's a very good thing to create zones. One of the problems lwaki mulikufa obwavu Busoga kubikado is because there is no zone.
Zone niki?
The zone, if Madivani has a sugar factory, let him be in the square meters of 25 kilometers so that nobody else goes there. What has happened in Busoga? Mayuge Sugar is 10 kilometers away from Madivani.
True that.
So what is happening to the farmer? Farmer alikubaliwadde. Nti jawale bakuwe cash. Farmer alikutema ebikadde ebikali kukula. Yatwala in another factory where is given cash. Do you know what the consequences? We've got poor quality of sugar, low productivity from sugar, and this man is not getting the right amount because he has been hoodwinked. The Madvanis had a plan. I ever planted sugarcane, 10 acres. And of course, that's the other point. If you do less than 10 acres, you're wasting time.
Mubikado. Chendo ayina ekitu.
Niwa wikado, you're wasting time.
Chenda ayina ekitu yaba na yika 10.
Minimum yika 10.
Andi wakati Madivani yale alikunigiriza nga alikutya abandi tebajatereza buso.
Madivani is so powerful as Iragwati.
What have you said?
So powerful as Iragwati. Ahiani, tell me somebody in this country who has similar investments as Madivani. Tell me.
So, who was for the Busoga in this sugarcane saga? Was it Madivani or Banabaleta? Kuba babuuza. Lwaki mwende ebikatu bitwalenga wa Madivani wonka? Ife wabewo obutalenga wenenda wembitwala.
No, but you see, not that I sit on the Madivani board. Let's be objective. If Madivani came and supported you in opening up your ground of 20 or 50 acres, yakuleta a tractor, yakuleta ebikadde yakusimbira. Yakoba after 18 months, later because the sente. Now, when after 14 months, are you being fair?
No, you are dishonest.
The quality of what you are taking.
Bikalikula. Mwate esa 18 otwale ku 14. Yes.
So you yourself are killing not only yourself, but the factory and the country. Because the yield from this sugarcane is little. So even where you are taking it, that's why they're underpaying you, because they know that the sugarcane you are taking is not yet mature.
Professor, ani asobola okukyusa Busoga? Kenkufunye mbuulira. Ani asobola okukyusa? Kuba ye Museveni ye mulemi. Nammwe abaasoma ennyo diguri ennyingi, Busoga ebalemye.
One of the problems we have is too many districts. Yeah, useless. I know I'm saying this against the many LC5 chairpersons who enjoy their chairs, but you cannot develop Busoga the way it is balkanized now. You can't. I mean, my father was the administrative secretary of the entire Busoga region. So he knew that isomero lye Namasagari eriyo neriri Bugiri eriyo neriri Kaliro. They knew the needs of these institutions. When they were on the cotton campaign, they knew where they had been. So you don't look at Busoga as an entity anymore. It is not. It's no longer an entity.
Olinga ku Kaliro yaife iwe oli wayiganga.
Zendi wayiganga. Ate zendi kwira ye Mayuge. Nini farm ye Mayuge.
So, ekyo kizibu.
It's very difficult.
Tuvaawo tutya. How do we get out of this? Because one day I was blaming Museveni for so much.
No, you can't blame Museveni. Museveni did his job. Museveni, as head of government, has announced an economic policy that supports growth. Take it as that. And he didn't like it either. He was not pro-private sector.
Yet it is the only one that has capacity to change us.
Not in Africa.
Professor?
Not in Africa, sir.
Ekyo ojja kukinsomesa. Olulala bwe tunajja ojja kunsomesa kubanga buli omu agamba ekisobola okununula Uganda.
I'm a believer in private sector. I am a firm believer in private sector. It does the best job possible. This production you see, the wonderful products we see are coming out of the private sector. But in Africa, sir, sorry. it's not going to end poverty.
Really?
No, it will not.
The inside out. Eyolwaliro ne Professor Wasswa Balunywa bwetyo bwe kabadde katono ku nsonga za Busoga bwe tusinkana sabbiiti ejja ne Professor Balunywa. Njagala atusomese ku bintu ebinene. Lwaki buli afuna looni mu Uganda okusitula bizinesi awunziko egudde bugwi? Kati buyaga ne private sector nayo nungi nnyo ereese bingi ne tusobola tujja mu bwavu. Bino n'ebirala bitujja okwera bwe tunaddamu okusinkana naye ku the inside out. Tovaawo. Bwe bali kubeera naffe, yongera okugoberera, nze Sir Simon Muyanga Lutaaya.
This is Inside Out.